completely mad.
No, you're insane.
Hello and welcome to the Madhouse, episode 75. I'm Ultimate Spy 53, the host of this podcast, and joining me this week, I have...
Hi, I'm a person. I'll introduce myself first this time. I'm Lucas. Again. Here. Yes. Hi, bigdinoguy here. I'm back visiting, but, anyways, yeah, I'm here.
Introduction, sometimes. Oh, I'm hungry.
So, we have teased this topic for a few weeks now, and I think it was the last 2 weeks we talked about the possibility of doing it, and, Bernard's girlfriend thinks it was a really cool idea to do that, and you want to do it anyways. He's like, well, we do have a movie coming out next year, filming it right now, and it's called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 2, and we are talking about Harry Potter, specifically that universe. So, who wants to start us off?
Let's start by, establishing what house we're all in.
Oh, yeah, so, for those of you who don't know, there's a site called Pottermore, where you can get sorted into your, Hogwarts house. It's really cool, and I surprisingly got Ravenclaw, which kind of makes sense because it's blue and it's a raven, and why not? It works. It works, yeah.
I had a feeling you'd go there. I know you're a bit silly sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, fine all the time.
Personally, I really have no idea what house I'd be in.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people where I've never had the opportunity to read any of the books, but I know the basis of the story, including some of the different things that are not described in the book, or in described in movies, but I have seen all the movies. I love that book.
Yeah, of course.
They're so good.
They are. Although they aren't, some of the books aren't as good as the movies because, like, for example, and this is a good example, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, that one, it wasn't a bad movie, they just cut out so much of the book. Some of the best parts of the book, like the brains scene in the Ministry of Magic or whatever that was, whatever. That scene was really good, and they cut it out. They cut it, like, all this really amazing stuff out of book 5, and it's like, although it was still it was a fun movie, it was one of the, well, not as received movies. It was still a good Harry Potter movie. They just cut out so much that it ended up being, like, you know, not the best out of the 8 in this case.
I've not seen many of the movies. I've just read the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, yeah.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I mean, I've read the books all several times.
Yeah.
But I don't watch a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for the books, there was a lot of difference between the books and the movies, a majorly difference, especially with casting wise. Because I didn't even notice this until now, but like, for example, Snape, he looks completely different, if not almost completely different from the books to the movies. There was one chapter, I think it might have been Harry Potter 5, called Snape's Grudge, and it was Snape without, like, a bunch of hair and a beard, and you go to the movie version, it's like, he looks nothing like Snape. So I didn't really understand that part. It was like, what? That's Snape? But he looks way different. And there's another thing with a character that I never knew looked completely different. That was Lupin. In book 7, there's like one image of him okay, each chapter has like a little image from the book, you know, it looks like they're from the book. And there's one image from book 7 that has like Lupin, like a meeting with Lupin or whatever, and it has Lupin on the front of that page, chapter. It's like, wait, he has long hair and no beard? What? And then the movie's like, but David Thewlis plays him with a beard and short hair. What the hell? I was just like, what?
Well, you know, also J.K. Rowling basically gave her blessing for the way they wrote this movie. But,
yeah.
Dan Radcliffe, who played Harry, his eyes are green.
Yep. Yep.
But they're blue, and they were in books.
Yeah.
You know why they were actually green in the movie?
Because the contact lenses hurt. The contact lenses hurt Daniel Radcliffe's eyes. Like, it hurt. He couldn't wear them, so they had to, like... I mean, it would have been sense to, like, just, like, digitally make them green, but I guess they couldn't do that, or whatever.
No, they didn't really have digital...
Oh, that's true.
They really had digital stuff when the first Harry Potter movie came out.
That's true. Well, they had CGI, but...
No, the CGI was not that good when the first Harry Potter came out. Not at all.
I suppose. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of differences between the book and the movie, especially with the actors actually getting the actors right. Like for example, Hermione, which was undoubtedly my favorite Harry Potter character of the entire series. I know Harry's like the main center of the books and the movies, but Hermione was the best out of the all three because she just had that bravery. She didn't let anything get into her. She just, and plus like the way she looks. I think it was important because a lot of people complain about her look. Like, you know, the buck teeth, the hair. People are like, oh, well, she doesn't have bushy hair in the movies, and it's like all weird. It's like, yeah, they get older, and it's just like that. And you know, like it's the way that it was portrayed that I liked it. Yeah, exactly. And a good example of Hermione is the terrible book, The Curse of the The Curse of the Child. I can't remember exactly what it's called. The new book. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, I want to say it's called. Hermione was portrayed as a black woman, which is like everybody hated that. And like I don't hate it. I think it's an interesting idea, but everybody who was used to seeing Hermione as portrayed by Emma Watson was like, how dare they cast a black actress as Hermione? It's like, it's diversity. Yeah, it's like she never was really described as a white or black girl. She's just a girl. Doesn't really matter. I like the diversity. It's weird, but it's not bad. I don't think it's nothing bad.
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, it's very unusual, but it's not bad. I mean, I think the reason why people were like, oh, God, why? Because they were so used to seeing Emma Watson as Hermione instead, and they thought she was perfect. And she was, but they still thought it was. I'm not saying I hate the idea of a black Hermione. I'm saying it's interesting. It's different and it's interesting, but I have nothing against it. I mean, I don't even know why the book didn't sell well or why it was terrible. I thought I heard it was terrible, but still, I don't know. It's weird how the book's different from the movies. Especially the way they cast a lot of the actors. Like, for example, one of the most weirdest casting ever especially with the recasting, was the same actor, but they just changed his look completely, which was Professor Flitwick. And I have noticed this throughout all the movies. In the first 10 movies, which are my favorite, like the first, Chris Crumble's directed movies, they were great. And then the third one, they changed everything about it. With Professor Flitwick, with everybody. They basically made him from this like elf, this elfish old man to this old man with black hair and a mustache. It's like, what? That was weird. That was the one thing I did not like about that character, was a change. It's like, oh, in Harry Potter 3 he's credited as the choir master. Cool. And then later movies just called Professor Philip. What the hell? They didn't even explain his change. It's like, what the fuck? But of course, you gotta realize that because Chris Columbus decided not to come back because he was tired of directing Harry Potter movies. Alfonso Cuarón came in, he's the first Mexican director, which is great, he did a good job with it, but it was still crazy what he did with the movie. He changed everything about the movie. He changed how Hogwarts looked, he changed where Hagrid's hat was located. Like, he had to walk down these steps. They changed how each character was. Like, for example, Flitwick. They changed his look. And it was weird. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was just like, who is this guy? Who is he? Same thing with Dumbledore. Like, I loved Richard Harris as Dumbledore. He's my Dumbledore. And although Michael Gambon did a great job as Dumbledore, I will never forget how amazing Richard Harris was as Dumbledore in the first two movies.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, no, that's why. That's the sad part, is he died, and they just had to recast him. It's like, oh, what happened to Dumbledore? Why is he different? You're like, Dumbledore, you look different. It's like, yeah, sorry, they had to recast him. The other actor died. Like, oh, well, that sucks. Because he was great. He was a great Dumbledore. He's like, I felt like he was the better Dumbledore.
Yeah, he was definitely the
Yeah, I just felt like he had,
The original one?
yeah, he had better wisdom. I don't know why, but he, like,
Again, this is someone that I'm a moviegoer, and just
Yeah.
as someone that, like, from the moviegoer side of it, I gotta admit, I really do love the one that they used to replace him. I
Yeah.
think that he was a little bit too young for the role.
Mhm.
I like some of the different work that I've seen him in.
I have nothing against Michael Gambon. He's a great Dumbledore, but I still have my heart set for. I'll have a special place in my heart for Richard Harris. I just felt like with Richard Harris, he brought Dumbledore to a role, or he brought the character to life in a way that I never had seen him done before. I mean, that's the only role I've seen him in. And then we get to Michael Gambit, it's like, what the fuck happened to Dumbledore? It's like, what happened? It's like he's different. I mean, it's obviously why he's different, but it's like, I just wasn't used to it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, I liked him in Harry Potter, in The Prisoner of Azkaban, which, weirdly enough, is everyone's favorite for some reason. I don't know why, but like, it's like, I love Chamber of Secrets, like, the one everyone hated, like, no, it was fine. And then it's like, you go to Dumbledore in the third one, it's like, everyone loves that Dumbledore, but why? Why is he so cool? I never understood that. Do you guys have any insight on that? I mean, I do like his portrayal of Dumbledore. I did. He was a great Dumbledore. Michael Gambon is Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He was a great Dumbledore. I wasn't used to seeing the change. And it's like that third Harry Potter movie. Everything changed. They changed how Hogwarts looked. And the way Hogwarts house looked, like it didn't have two sides of the house, like in the third Harry Potter movie. You notice how actually the third and on Hogwarts was at a completely different location, and it was like there were two sides of it. There was like one big part, and then there was like another part. Like it was just, and there was like a pumpkin patch that wasn't in the first two movies. I feel like when you get a new director especially for a Harry Potter movie, the director has the ability to do whatever he wants to do, and that means changing how Hogwarts looks, changing how Hagrid's hut looks, having each character look completely different. I mean, obviously it wasn't Dumbledore because he was a recasting, but every other character just looked completely different. It was just weird. Yeah.
But here's my thing: with the character, this is in any story or movie or book or otherwise. If it's all within a certain time frame, like Harry Potter is years and years and years,
yeah,
they're gonna have to change the way that they look. It's a given thing. That's exactly what happens. It's a different. What pisses me off though is that all of a sudden one book, now the pictures move anymore.
Yep.
It's Harry Potter. The basic thing of Harry Potter is the pictures moving. You see the characters moving. And the Dementors, I understand why they have this. I mean, I just want to like, hey, characters change. But I don't really like the way that they restyle the Dementors and the later films. But taking parts of the universe away from it, that's where the big problem comes from. But changing up some different actors and whatnot, it's kind of a given. You're going to have some sort of an evolution in film.
Yeah.
You can't all of them look exactly like they did in the very first movie when they're fighting Voldemort in the final one. I mean, can you just imagine that happening?
Yeah, of course. And that was another big thing with like Voldemort. I was looking at this like top 10 actors that were swapped in the third movie or whatever of Harry Potter, or any other movies of Harry Potter. And Voldemort I didn't even realize that he was like, I don't think that it was until like I really saw the first movie again and again, and I like realized, oh my god, that's a completely different actor. He has a nose still, and he's a completely different actor. It's like, what? Didn't even realize that. What? What was that?
What?
You said something?
I was just laughing about how he had a nose early on.
Oh yeah. That's actually, that was a running gag in the meme section of Harry Potter, where it's like, that is one thing Voldemort doesn't have. What? Noses. It was the very end of Harry Potter 5, and he's like, there's one thing that Voldemort doesn't have. What's that? Noses. A nose. It's like, really?
Well, that's an older Mexican skit that they had, where you see him walking down as he is, like in the final movie, and everyone's making fun of him down the street. Hey, no, all this stuff, and everything like that. And all of a sudden, he just gets sick of it, so he goes and gets a nose job.
Yep.
Yeah, this big old job, a whole bump in the middle, and everyone's like, oh my god, for God. Then he walks, right, and Harry's dad opens up the door and smacks.
Oh.
Oh. He's Harry's Vengeance of the Potter.
Oh, man. Wow.
It would make sense.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I will say one thing about, because you brought up the last movie, and this is Deathly Hallows Part 2. Now, there were two things in that movie that set everyone off, and that was like the final battle where Harry finally defeats Voldemort. You have something that everyone was like, what? The very end of the movie, you have Harry deciding to break the Elder Wand instead of fix his own wand, which was weird because that was not in the book at all. He doesn't break the wand. He's like, oh, my other wand is broken. I grew up on this wand. I'll just repair it. Done. And it's like the movie. It's like, I don't need this. He just like, I don't need power. I'll just break it. I was just like, yeah, but it's like, I didn't really understand why he did it. It was like, why? Why do you need to do that? You could have just repaired your own wand. I mean, there were a lot of differences in the book and the movies. A lot of them. Like just a lot of them that were just cut out of the movie. A lot of them I was like disappointed. Like I think during the 5th book there was a whole thing with like the elf, like the house elf thing where Hermione was doing like making things for house elves. That was cut out of the movie completely. They even have this like I like that part of the book, and it's like you see the movie. It's like, well, where is it? It was the really interesting part of the movie, and it was cut out. I mean, that's one reason why. Yeah, what?
About what I saw the movies anyway. Again, I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah.
But the thing that annoyed me the most was just the fact that it felt like it tried way too hard to just copy everything out of the book without ever kind of having it. You know, the picture movie is going to have to change things. They're going to have to cut stuff out. You know, a movie can't be long enough to fit in everything in the book. If they were already going to change it, they can
of course.
In ways that make sense for the movie rather than just kind of cutting stuff out and being confusing.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, a big reason why Order of the Phoenix didn't do as well, like I said before, was because of the fact that they cut out so much. It would have been way better if they had left more important scenes in. Yeah, it would have made more sense. And also, I believe Harry Potter 5 was the first book where they actually had a legit photo of Hermione. Like, all of the books did not have any picture in like each chapter illustration of the characters. It didn't have any illustration of Hermione until you get to the 5th book. I mean, they described her, but that was it. Because it wasn't in, like, I was surprised when I'm like, oh, that's what she looks like. Okay then. Like I can see a description, but it's like, oh, that's cool. It's a little illustration. Didn't even know she looked like that. It's like, why wait to the 5th book? 5 books in to finally give her an illustration of her. It's like, come on. I just didn't understand that. That was just like, what? What the hell? You know? I mean, I like all of the books. They're all really great, but I think that, you know, some of them have their own weaknesses and some of them have their own strengths. But I just feel like a lot of the I mean, I feel like the books in some ways are better than the movies and vice versa because they have their own little you know, thing about them. Now there are a lot of, you know, movie mistakes in the movies. I will admit that. A lot of them. For example, some of the spells were done incorrectly. Like, for example, what was one of them? Well, no, it was the first spell that Harry shoots at Malfoy when he does the Dueling Club in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And that one, I think it was the Tika spell, but instead of doing that, it like makes it go flying and everything. And I was just like, what? And then of course the Expelliarmus spell, which was not even supposed to act that way. It wasn't supposed to go Expelliarmus and then this big bolt of like Legos. It's like, no, it's just supposed to go. One on my hand. Oh well, I lost it. Okay, go get it. You know, it isn't supposed to be like that. That's what they kind of screwed about those the spells in the movie was they did them wrong. Like for example, the fire spell in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first one. Hermione did this little. I can't remember exactly what I think it was Incolium Famari, whatever you call it. It was not supposed to be. That is not the fire spell. I can't remember what it was, but it was not the fire spell. And it's like, you screw stuff up like that? Really? That's not how you do it. That's one of the reasons why. That's one downside of the Harry Potter movies is they screw up a lot of the spells. They make them not look like they're described looking as in the books. And also one thing that really bugged me in later movies, like, you know, in Harry Potter 5 and 6, is when the students, like Harry and everybody, like, they kind of to the point where it's like, oh, we don't need to use we don't need to shut the spell. Let's just go, like, I don't even need to, like, that was one thing, it's like, what the fuck? You have to, like, don't you, so now what, no, we just have the thing where you don't have to shoot the spells, like, Voldemort did it in his duel with Harry, but now it's like, oh, the adults are not yelling their spell, let's just fire them away, like, it doesn't really matter. I didn't understand that part. Like, why did they need to do that? They did not need to, like, they need to actually say the spell. And instead just like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't understand it. And it was even worse in the 6th movie, although all of them are great. I have nothing against the Harry Potter movies, they're all great, but there are weaknesses. And there's a scene in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince where I think it's the Weasley's house, and they're in this, like, this field, I don't know what they're in, they're like this field, and everybody is not even saying a word, they're just going, it's like, why? It's like, what are you saying? You gotta say the spell!
Okay, this is the movie guy here talking.
Yeah.
Because I have to defend their actions in some regard. Yes, at the same time it's annoying, but at the same time, just like we were talking about in terms of age and what they look and whatnot, you gotta understand that these characters have been, well, they've been growing. They've been growing into different powers, they've been growing, and they're not doing different things. And hear me out. Not only are they trying to signify growth, but also, would you rather have a tense moment? And when I was watching that scene in Half-Blood Prince, and when the Weasley's house has been burned down, I watched that scene the first time, and I was on the edge of my seat. Because I hadn't read the books, I had no idea what was going to happen, I didn't know if he was going to die or live or anything like that. We should have a tense moment where you see the characters running through the field, dark setting, it looks like a horror show. You see this werewolf-looking dude with a ripped face, just growling at them, wearing black clothes, coming in. Fire going all around. Would you rather hear, or would you rather just see it all happen in front of your eyes? Quick pace. So not only does it accomplish the whole quick pace aspect of it, but you have a darker tone to the film. You have a darker tone to the movie that's not supposed to be some willy-nilly show. The first couple of movies, they are. The second one, which is, I've never been the biggest fan of the Chamber of Secrets, but that's because when I was really young, it scared me.
Oh yeah, that snake.
I've gone to like it more over the years. How did it scare you?
Probably the snake, the basilisk. I mean, why else would you know he's scared of? It's the basilisk, it's a snake. Yeah, I could see that.
I watched it, but I just wasn't really that big of a fan of it because it scared me. But in scenes like that, like think back to the basilisk.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
When you see the basilisk, you hear it growling. You hear it slithering among the ground. The water's moving with every footstep you have. It's tense.
Yeah, exactly. And then Harry's like, oh, throw a rock at it, it'll go away. It's just like that.
That's exactly my point. Yeah, in a horror movie, you take this moment. Some of the most classic action sequences, like Saving Private Ryan, for example, the opening scene. No music, no anything. You just see explosions, you see people dying, you see chaos and mayhem. In a dark setting, that's going to keep you certainly shitting bricks during this scene.
Yeah.
I would rather have a scene that looks fantastic, that feels like you're in the moment, than just having all these different people shouting out spells and whatnot the entire time.
Yeah.
You already know what they're trying to say. Especially if you read the books, you understand what they're doing. You understand what God looked at. You understand you understand okay, I agree, I get what your point is, but one thing I'd kind of like to say is that I don't think you should have to read the book to understand the movie.
Yeah, it's true.
I understand the movie perfectly.
I mean, I will say that I was kind of annoyed when it's like, oh, they're certainly not able to. They don't have to shout the spells. When did they learn that? Like, there was a special like class like, oh, this is how you don't have to. You just wave your wand and it'll happen. You just completely ignore the whole shouting the spell. You just like, you know what? Like, what the hell?
I'm just saying, I'd rather have an action show
Yeah.
where I'm sitting in my pants and just hear them shouting these random words.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell they're saying to begin with at that scene.
Yeah, I just didn't understand it. It's like, well, so you must have learned how to use to just shout it, throw a spell without actually saying it. Like they don't explain it. It's like, what the hell? Like,
We'll never understand.
I guess that's true, but still, it was just like it was, I don't know. It was disappointing when they did that. It's like, because in the fifth, like you have a lot of the fifth movie. Actually, like most of the fifth movie, before you have, actually, I think Harry doesn't actually. I think he learns to not say the spell when he gets to the duel with Lucius Malfoy and Sirius and everything. And that's that part of the movie. He's able to just not even say it. Yeah. Oh, continue.
I ended up telling what? That was a fun day.
My lady's a badass.
It's difficult. I killed her critter before my own parents.
Nice.
That was fun.
Nice.
You see why I like her?
Yeah, I can see why. Well, anyway, but yeah, that's all I can really say about that particular subject within the Harry Potter universe. Is that's my problem. That's one thing I really did not like about those aspects was that. I still love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a great franchise. Now there are some things in the Harry Potter universe that kind of make me confused, and it's still going back to the whole casting thing. Because if you notice in the first movie, you see the Grey Lady. Now you fast forward to the final movie, you see the Grey Lady again. She looks nothing like the Grey Lady in the first one because they recast her as with Kelly MacDonald. I was just like, I don't even notice them. Like, I mean, one of the casting things was like, wait, she was cast again? What? I didn't realize that. I didn't even know she was recast. Holy God! It's like you don't even notice that stuff until you actually watch the movie. It's like, oh, how interesting. I mean, that's just the way I see it. It's like you don't even realize that they've been recast. And also, I will say this about one character that has got to be one of my favorite, secondary characters, and that's Dobby. Now, Dobby was one of those characters that only made 2 appearances, although he made more than 1 appearance in the books. And that's like, he's one of the most memorable characters, one of the saddest deaths, to be for sure. But like, he was only in he was in the second movie, and then he was in the 7th movie, part 1. Looks solid different, but it's like, they had it, he was in like at least 3 more books before 7 came out, and it's like, Toby Jones is available to hire, you just hire him to be in the movie. It's like, no, you can't, why? I guess money or something, you gotta save it for Toby Jones. Like, okay, Toby, 7 part 1's coming out, wanna be in it? Sure. It's like, okay, you can be Toby again. It's like, and then they had like, I think one of the most disappointing things about, yeah, that was sad, but like, I will say that they missed an opportunity with the House Elves. There was a big thing with the House Elves in, like, I think one of some of the Quidditch games, like, with Harry Potter 4, there was a character called, I want to say Weenie or whatever it's called, I can't remember, it was a female elf. It was a female elf. Barty Crouch Sr.'s, elf. Yeah. Yeah, she was not in the movies. And I liked her a lot. She was a very interesting character. I mean, she was whiny, but, like, I liked the fact that she was in the books. And no appearance in the movie. It's like we get Dobby in the 7th movie and the 2nd movie, but no... What? He was in the books more than the movies, and he could get... Where are the House Elves? Yeah, I was disappointed, because it's like, she's a really interesting character. We've never seen her before. Why can't they put her in the movie? We only get 2 House Elves in the entire universe of the movies, and that was Creature and Dobby. That's it. I just didn't understand it. It's like, what's stopping you from that? Yeah, but still, I just like, I didn't understand it. You had so much opportunity there, and you missed it, because you didn't like, oh, well, let's just save money by not putting in the characters, even though they were in the freaking book. Come on! No, it's, I think it was Weenie, and it was also, I think Creature was in more than 1 book, but I know that Dobby was definitely in more than 2 books. But that's one thing about Harry Potter that I was disappointed about, was not being able to see those characters, especially the house elves, because I felt like the house elves were the most creative part of the Harry Potter universe, because like you had this whole thing with Hermione taking care of the house elves, and then they cut that out from the movie, and they have like the weenie thing with Dobby and Creature. You cut out like one of those, and you have like maybe like 1 or 2 appearances from Creature. Yeah, 2 appearances from Creature in 2 movies, and you get Dobby in 2 movies. Like, what is wrong with the studio? Why can't they just put in the house elves? What's wrong with them? I know, that's the great part about those characters, is why can't they put them in the movie? They're in the books. I don't understand.
I told my parents, I looked at them, they were handing me my laundry, I'm like, thank you. Don't be just hurry up when I walk off.
Yeah. I just didn't understand that. They missed so much they could do with that. I mean, the house elves were very interesting. I like those creatures. They were really funny. They were really creative. They were obviously cute, but also they just had their own way of living. They knew how to do it. Especially the writing with those characters. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a big fan of Weenie, or whatever she was called, the female elf. It's the character that Barty Crouch Sr. Has in his care in, I think, the 4th movie. Never was in the movie at all. I was so disappointed, because she was a great character, and they completely missed that chance. They missed so much chance with his characters. I mean, at least they get Grop, but like, so many creatures they could have had in the movies, and they didn't put more house elves in. They just got like 2. It's like, come on, really? But I mean, at least they're doing something with the new movie for Fantastic Beasts. At least they're doing something with the universe. They're taking a different direction with. One thing I liked about the new movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was not only was a different approach to the Harry Potter universe, but also going in a completely different direction, where visiting another country. Because Harry Potter, we always know it, is they're a British movie. They're British movies. They've like the sets, everything. They're all British actors, everything. And then you have this new idea where you have a character we've never actually heard before, besides a Harry Potter book that he was reading in school about Newt Scamander. And it's like, ooh, this could be cool. And then they show us, it's like, wait, this is Harry Potter? This is a Harry Potter, style movie? Where's the British people? It's like, oh, it's in America. That's weird. I guess that's how it works. I really liked Fantastic Beasts. It was a great movie. It was a good movie. I mean, it was a very interesting way, it was a very interesting way of telling a Harry Potter story, especially a prequel, because it is meant to be a prequel, and it's meant to be 5 movies, which is going to be awesome. But also, having, like, what I really liked about Fantastic Beasts is they borrowed a lot from Doctor Who. And Harry Potter 4, they did a lot of borrow from Doctor Who, because especially in the 4th movie when Harry goes into the tent, boom, bigger on the inside. Everyone knows that J.K. Rowling is probably a Doctor Who fan. But they went even further, where you have a scene in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them where Newt Scamander pops into his little trunk, and then suddenly this massive cave thing and big world, it's like, wow, it's big on the inside. I like that part. That was a really cool part of the movie. And that's what I really like about the movie.
That helps out is Winky.
What?
The female house elf name was Winky.
Oh yeah, Winky! Oh, I knew I was close. I was like, I'm missing something there.
I know it's like a W.
Yeah, I was like, I swear that she does not sound like a Winky. Like, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, I really liked the humor of Fantastic Beasts, especially the guy the chubby guy. I can't remember his name exactly. He's like I can't remember his name, but basically he's this really funny guy, and he's like, there's 2 scenes where he's like, one of them where he drinks a laughing potion or whatever it is, and he starts laughing, and then when Newt goes into his suitcase, he's just like, it's like, okay. But I mean, there's also some really good comedy from Newt himself. The actor himself is great. He's a great actor. But also the comedy that he brings to the role, like, some of the great one-liners are like, you wear this. You're unfortunately due to the circumstances, your head might be susceptible to breakage or something. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but he made a really funny joke about your head is big. Wear a helmet. You'll be susceptible to break it or whatever. It's like that's something I liked about that movie. It was funny. It was a very serious movie. I mean, it was meant to be serious because you have actors you never even would think about it being a Harry Potter movie. Like I think it was Jon Voight, Colin Farrell. Yeah, a lot of really well-known actors that you'd never seen in a Harry Potter movie before. And that's what I liked about it. It expanded upon the Harry Potter universe. And I like that. I like that a lot because Harry Potter, we grew up on Harry Potter. It's like all these books, movies, they did a really good job with them. Not the best, but they were really good with actually, translating each book to the movie. Not all of them were good. I mean, all of them were good in their own way, but like not all of them were translated well. I mean, I feel like Fantastic Beasts, although it was not based off of an actual book, well, sort of. It was based off a book, but it wasn't like, I can't really explain it. Like, it was based off a book that Harry Potter read in his Hogwarts days, and then it was put to a movie set in the 20s, which is, yeah, it was a very new story. Like, a story that we never, as Potterheads, we never even heard of before. Like, what is this guy who's Newt Scamander who collects beasts and he puts them in his suitcase? It's like, it was a very interesting idea for a movie, especially one that's supposed to be a prequel to Harry Potter, specifically 70 years before Harry Potter reads the book. But I also liked the plot of it. The character of Newt Scamander was very interesting, and especially him being portrayed by Eddie Redmayne, I think it was. Yeah, Eddie Redmayne. He did a great job. He did a really good job with that.
What are they called? In that movie, and someone's a wizard, but their magic is just so long. What was that called?
The magic.
Starts with an O.
An O?
Like, I know about
I was wondering what part of it you become one of those.
What?
With his aunt and uncle. In Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, I know that movie.
Lived with like the abusive parents that he like became the monster at the end.
Oh, you're talking about Credence?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ezra Miller guy who is going to be the terrible Flash in the movie. Anyway, point aside, not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, I understand that. I mean, he was a very interesting, I guess, villain, if you want to call it that. He was interesting. Credence, yeah, I like the character of Credence. He was very. It was very interesting. You haven't seen Fantastic Beasts yet?
No, I've said that before.
Haven't you? You've never seen the movie? We're talking about it now!
I know, but I didn't know that I've actually seen it.
Oh my god! We can't talk about it now because you haven't seen it yet! Oh my god! How are we going to talk about it now? We can't talk about it because you've not seen the movie yet!
I'm on back to right now. I'm kind of distracted.
Okay, good, because you're going to be spoiled a lot by it, but... Anyway, there was a character called Credence who was a sort of like a villain character, played by Ezra Miller, and he was like innocent child kid who was just like, I guess he was like abused by his mother or something like that, and then he like turned dark or something. But in the end, turns out that I think whoever's behind it is actually Grindelwald, who in the Harry Potter, I want to say the 7th movie, maybe, in a flashback. I can't remember exactly which movie it was, but there was a Harry Potter movie where there was this dark wizard called Grindelwald who was essentially falling for Dumbledore because outright they confirmed that Dumbledore's gay, obviously, because everyone's like, yeah, Dumbledore's gay, Grindelwald likes Dumbledore, Dumbledore likes Grindelwald. There was a character, he was obviously, because this is a movie set in the 20s, it looks nothing like Grindelwald in that movie because it's a younger Grindelwald, but basically, he was in the movie as played by Johnny Depp, which is very interesting casting choice because he's a good actor. But I mean, it did set a lot of things, and that's one character that I never would have seen in the movie at all, just because we don't really know much about Grindelwald at all. We just know that he was this dark wizard who had a thing for Dumbledore, creepy enough, but was still a very interesting character. We got like 10 seconds of him. That's it. Like we saw him in the flashback going out a window. That's it. Nothing else. And then we see him 70 years earlier as played by Johnny Depp, and he has like white hair and a beard. Like, what the hell? It's like, I was confused about that, but at the same time, it was a good movie within the Harry Potter universe. It was a very different movie. And I like that about movies that are prequels that tell a different story while maintaining that you know, that magical world of Harry Potter, that same universe, whether it be, you know, a prequel or not. It was still a very cool story.
I really like it.
Yeah, I liked it, and the fact that, you know, you have, it was interesting because Newt was the only Brit there. He was the only English guy there, and I felt like it was a very cool idea because, you know, you have Americans who are wizards also, like, you know, you have American wizards and witches, and you have this, like, the one thing that was really weird was this, they went to this, like, underground bar or something with these, like, creatures, and it was weird. It's like, what are these things? And I think you have, like, even have a goblin in there, and it's like, what are these things? It was just, although it was a very good movie, it was also really weird. Like, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but I still admired it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again to, like, really see if I like it better now that I've only seen it once. But it was still, I liked it a lot because it brought back that Harry Potter, you know, nerdom. Like, you see a Harry Potter trailer, it's like, oh my god, Harry Potter. Like, every trailer coming up, it's like, oh my god, Harry Potter. You wanted to say something?
What? No, I just said Harry Otter.
Harry Otter? Oh, okay. But yeah, I like.
Anymore, he's very proper.
Okay. I will say that Fantastic Beasts opens a window for the future of Harry Potter, especially with the, you know, expansion of this is like another part of the universe that, you know, 7 years before, which is a very cool idea, and I like that because J.K. Rowling, we all thought she was, like, done with Harry Potter, like, we'd never come back to Harry Potter. Turns out that she was actually making a new Harry Potter movie, and we never knew it, because it had been 5 years since the last Harry Potter movie, which was, you know, as good as it was, and as fucking sad as it was still a good Harry Potter movie. I feel like the last movie, and this happens a lot with YA novels, where they have a big ass movie, and they decided to cut it into 2 parts. Not like Hobbit, because that was a different story, but with Harry Potter and Twilight and Divergent and Hunger Games, always the YA novels, and they decided to split it in half. Although, with Harry Potter, I didn't mind that because it was a freaking big book. That was a really big book, and I did not mind that because it was, especially the way they did it. They was able to really make a...
Harry Potter, I really can't stop thinking about that right now.
I do like the...
Hobbit, I really can't stop thinking about that film right now.
I really like the fact that with Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, they really did a good job of, you know, making a 2-part story, you know, work. You know, make us want to have to wait. It's like, oh, part 1 is over. Come back next July for the next part. And then we waited, and finally it was July again. It's like, oh, right, Harry Potter again. But still, great movies. Those last 2 parts were great. I really liked them a lot. So, yeah.
I kind of got that.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it has its own thing. I feel like if J.K. Rowling could never ever had the idea of making a story about a wizard, a boy wizard who goes to this magical school, none of this would happen. None of this nerd culture would have happened because Harry Potter is a truly magical experience, especially if you go to the, you know, places like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, where what they've done over there, it's insane. I mean, it's... I even wanted to go there for ever, and it's... Yeah, it's like... Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible what they've done, especially with a lot of what they've, you know, done in the movies. Like, I remember this really funny blooper in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where they... And honestly, I will admit this, that was the first Harry Potter movie that actually legitimately scared me, because Lupin. Because when Lupin transformed into the werewolf, I'm like, oh my god, it's a werewolf, holy crap! I was scared of that.
Dude, you want to know the theory with that movie?
Yeah?
I saw it the very first time I ever went to an IMAX theater. My mom and I went and saw that movie. Seeing Lupin on the...
Yeah!
Oh my god, dude, good god. It was like, what the fuck is that?
And so none of the movies really scared me. The only thing that really scared the crap out of me was when I was movie open, because when you had the snake on the table.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was terrifying.
No, I saw it in 3D with my mom. So
oh my god.
I just now because
It's like Nagini dinner. It's like, oh god, no, and then it's like, boom. Yeah, definitely. And then I feel like the fourth movie, when we first see baby Voldemort, I'm like, I'm like, oh my god, what is that? I was terrified. I'm like, what is that monstrosity? It was a baby Voldemort. Like, before Voldemort comes back, he's in this little blanket, and he looks terrifying. He's like, he's like just disturbing. I mean, eventually you get to the final movie, Harry Potter, Death of the Half Part 2. You see that same Voldemort under the desk, and Harry Potter's like, what is this? Oh my god! He's like, he looks under the bench or whatever, and you see Voldemort just like naked and withering. He's like, whoa! I mean, Harry Potter was actually terrified about. It's like, whoa, what is that? Yeah, I mean, I will admit this. When I first saw Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in theaters, I hid from the Voldemort reveal scene. I was terrified of his look. He looked terrifying, and I hid. I just didn't look at the screen because it was like, oh my god, it's Voldemort, his creepy voice and his look, he looks terrifying. Oh my god, hide. And I hid that entire scene. I did not look. I mean, obviously now watching again, it's like, oh, that's not so bad. But like when I was a kid watching it in 2005, I'm like, oh my god, it's Voldemort, run! But yeah, I mean, I've gotten over it, but he's still a terrifying creature. Voldemort is a... I mean, who wouldn't want to be terrified of Voldemort? He's freaking Voldemort! But, yeah, I still... There was a great moment in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and it was actually a blooper thing. It was during this scene with where the students had to sleep in sleep bags in, I think, the Great Hall was. It was filming that scene, and this is actually something that it was a prank done by Alan Rickman and Malcolm Gambon. Alan Rickman had placed actually I think it was also the director got on this. They placed they placed a fart machine inside. I want to say it was Daniel's sleep bag, maybe even other ones too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All the sleep bags, and then they shot the scene. They had to obviously put. I think it was deleted scene or whatever. But they shot the scene, and it went off, and everybody just sort of like even like you have Alan Rickman and Malcolm Gambon, very serious actors. They know how to act, and they just burst out laughing. And even the director got in on it.
They both put it inside. It was Alan Rickman that actually put it inside of Dan Ratcliffe's stuff.
Yeah.
And when they're going through, he actually has controller in his hand behind him. And when they're walking across, no one's holding him though. I think they might have actually told the captain through, but they're walking by him, and he just kept repeatedly pressing the button. all the other one. By the time that ended, everyone in the entire auditorium where they're filming was laughing their ass.
I can see why.
It wasn't a blooper, it was just planted to like,
well, it didn't make it into the final movie, obviously. I think it might have been a deleted scene or something, but it was hilarious. Like, I'm like, wow. I mean, there have been bloopers with even the most serious actor like Maggie Smith. She does a great job with McGonagall, but yet there was several bloopers where she just couldn't control her laughter. She just laughed. It was great.
It's Maggie Smith. No one disses Maggie Smith.
Of course not.
Fucking god, man.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, but it's the actors that count.
I don't deal with Voldemort on a daily basis to her for 1 minute.
Yeah. Although I will say one thing about one of the most weirdest casting ever, where they did it like 3 times in a row. So you may remember the character Lavender Brown from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter 6. She has a thing for Ron. So I didn't even know about this until I actually like looked it up on. I was like a thing on Facebook or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is weird. I'm like, oh, cool. Apparently, in the 3rd movie, Lavender Brown is actually a black girl, and they recast her like 2 times, and then you get to the 6th movie and she's white. I'm like, what? She goes from black to white. Why?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I just didn't. I mean, she was a very silly actress. The actress did a great job and she was very funny. But especially when she calls, Ron her little nickname. It was just that was a very ugh. It was so weird because we know that Hermione has feelings for Ron, and yet he goes and dates Lavender Brown. And it was just like, and obviously the nickname that she calls him is just weird. Yeah, there's a nickname that she calls Ron. It's called Wan Wan, and I was just like, I think it was in the book. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? What is this?
Well, they were making now on his basically drawn, so it's possible that he call it her one.
Yeah.
So,
Although one thing I will say about the trailer for Half-Blood Prince is there was a when I first saw the trailer for Half-Blood Prince, I was very, very happy to see Quidditch back because that is one of the best parts of those movies is Quidditch. Honestly, it is a great part of those movies. And when the trailer for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince finally came out, I'm like, oh my god, Quidditch! Where's it been all my life? But obviously we know it's like it was absent in Harry Potter 4 because of the Triwizard Tournament. Umbridge Bennett, Harry Potter 5. Finally we get Harry Potter 6 and we get Quidditch. It's like, yay! That was a great part of it because honestly, I really like that sport because there was I think they even cut that out of the I want to say the second book. I don't know which one of the I think it might have been early as the second book where they had a whole thing with Quidditch where the Weasleys would play Quidditch like as a practice thing, and they cut that out. I will say, yeah, that's one weakness about this movies is they cut out too much. I mean, they end up great, but it's the stuff they cut out.
Rather than like adapting the book.
Yeah, and it's not fair because we read all these great books, all 7 books. People who read all the 7 books, I mean, people who actually stay up all night to finally get their hands on the 7th book and cry, as the doctor says. But still, it's you gotta realize that they can't if they literally adapt all 7 books, like using all their plot, all the scenes, it's gonna be hours longer than it should be. Which is like, you can't physically watch all of them in that time. It's just not possible. I mean, that's one of the weaknesses of those movies. I mean, they still do a great job. They still are amazing, but it's the fact that they cut out way too much. And that's what makes them, well, I won't say they're not as good. I still love all of them, but each of them have their own little thing where you cut out too much, and it's like, but wait, wasn't that the next like for example, a really good example is, I think it was the 5th novel, yeah, the 5th book. It was one of the like weirdest things ever. I was reading the book, and it had this thing where Umbridge goes through each of the teachers, and it's like this big thing where she finally, after chapters, she finally have this scene where Trelawney gets sacked. And then you get the movie, it's like, and then she like prophesizes for Umbridge, and it's like, lovely, it's like, great. And then the very next scene, she gets sacked, like, what? But it's like, all these other, what happened? It's like, what happened? There's all these chapters, you took your time to like, finally get a sack, and it's like, go from here to here, and you get sacked the next scene. It's like, come on. I was so disappointed in that. It's like, but why? I didn't understand it. It's like, where is that? Why would you do that? That's the only book that I really was angry with. It's like, I read all these chapters that set up they have a really good, plot line, and then the movie comes and they just cut out all that stuff. They go right to the next scene. They don't even explain it. It's like, oh yeah, if she's stacked, whatever.
What character I didn't hear?
Trelawney, the one with the big eyes, the big glasses.
Yeah, to me, I didn't really see it as she's gone, she's here. I didn't really see it as, like,
Yeah.
Well, basically, more substitute or bit. So,
Yeah. I hated her. She was just so cruel, especially on the book. Like, I think you can only actually find what she looks like, and any of the characters look like in the books if you go like Google Images and search Harry Potter book form characters and you find the characters. She looks she just looks like, I mean, it's really weird because a lot of the characters, they don't look exactly like they are in the books. Like Hermione, well, she looks close enough, but still, I mean, I think one of the amazing things about the the first 2 movies is they're so cute. The kids are just so cute, and it's even cuter when you have the scene at the very end of her Chamber of Secrets where Hermione and Ron try to they hug, and it's like, oh, awkward. Okay, shake hands.
I awkward thing.
Yeah, that was just like, it's like,
Yeah.
aw, it's like they can't hug because they don't want to show their they don't want to show their feelings. They're just like, okay, well, welcome back, Hermione, shake hands. It's like Hermione and Ron is like, yeah, Hermione and Harry's like, hi, hugs, and it's like, they're like, oh, awkward, shake hands. Yeah, that was honestly seeing. I honestly, one thing I liked about Harry Potter a lot, and it's the fact that the franchise went for 10 years. It's the fact that each actor, like the original three, and I think even some of the headmasters, actually I think it was just the original three with Malfoy and all the other students' friends, and then some of the professors. All of them for 10 years they grew up, and it's like you have the first two movies, and like the first movie of they grow up, and then finally get to the seventh, I think the sixth and seventh book. Or sorry, seventh movie, and the movie also because it's split two parts. But you have those movies, and you finally have the idea of, oh, what if Ron and Hermione actually had feelings for each other, and they finally tie the knot. It was just like, I mean, it's really interesting because that last part of the movie, where they finally kiss, that scene was actually the most awkward to shoot because they had to do it over and over again because in real life the actors are actually best friends, and so if you think about it, you want to kiss your best friend, that would be really awkward. Especially if you're making a movie like Harry Potter, incredibly awkward. And so it's like, oh, he's like, because like I think there was an interview, was like, yeah, that because it was incredibly awkward. He's like my brother, and literally they had to kiss over and over again. They had to keep doing it because they would like laugh because it's like, oh my god, this is so weird. I can't believe I'm doing this kind of thing. And it got even weirder when it got even weirder when they got to the point where it was the first, I think it was when they finally destroyed the first Horcrux, and they see, I think like shortly before he destroys it, Ron sees a vision of Hermione and Harry kissing, and that's actual Daniel and Emma kissing in actual real life. I mean, it was filmed, but it was like, again, an awkward situation. It was just like weird to see that happen. And I can see why it would be awkward because they've been filming those movies for 10 years. It's a long time to be filming movies for. And yeah, definitely. Like a lot. That would. I mean, I think even Tom Felton, who I did meet actually, I had the opportunity to legitimately actually meet him and shake his hand. And actually got to ask him about why they changed his hair. He told me he didn't know because the director just made the decision. But I did meet Tom Felton at Comic-Con. Yeah, he's awesome. I shook his hand. Yeah, I have a poster in my room of his autograph. Because I might as well bring it up because this is a podcast about Harry Potter. But yeah, I mean it's interesting how crazy the evolution of all these actors from little kids to adults. It's crazy because they've been literally at that for 10 years. Well, I mean, I think not quite literally 10 years because they had like gaps in between movies, but just about 10 years of. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I think it's absolutely amazing with the franchise.
The thing that's not neat about is where the actors are now.
Yeah.
So like Danny Radcliffe, the first movie that I ever saw him do after Harry Potter was actually one that came out a couple years ago called Thorn.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one. It looked weird. They're kind of look scary, kind of.
So I also didn't know that Harry Potter was a smoker. Dan Radcliffe was actually a chronic smoker. The collectible films of the Harry Potter series actually. Not only was he smoking, but he was a heavy drunk. He would show up and he would be drunk on set during most of the scenes. His exactly. But the actually called him quote unquote Harry Puffer because he would always smoke.
Oh, jeez.
And anyway, I saw him in this movie, and it's kind of a great film. The symbolism that they have in it is like, oh my god, awesome, but it has some scenes where you're just sitting back like, what the fuck did I just watch? And the first time I ever saw him, he was smoking a cigarette on there. I was like, what the hell happened? Just the way that he has transitioned from his Harry Potter realm and his experience there to now is quite different than what the one I expected. Not bad at all. And he's actually been keeping up with a bunch of different work. He's clean now, at least, and At least he doesn't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
Or no, he does smoke, but he doesn't drink anymore. Sorry. Which is quite good actually. I'm very glad that he stopped that. I'm a big fan of his work.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's amazing to see his changes. And then just recently he did a Beast incarnation. Emma Watson. I watched it the first time about a week ago, and I saw that and was like, oh my.
Well, she was also in Beauty and the Beast, which is a great movie. She was also in the new Beauty and the Beast, came out in March. It was a great movie. But also, speaking of Daniel Radcliffe, I was watching a lot of these, like, you know, celebrity thingies, and one of them was a great video of Daniel Radcliffe. I think he was supposed to, like, work as a receptionist at this one place, and he literally had people coming into this building, where he was working, Daniel Radcliffe was working as the receptionist. I think it was some kind of, like, prank or something, but he was working at a receptionist, and people would come by and be like, wait, are you? It's like, they would freak out because it was Daniel Radcliffe. And honestly, I will say that Daniel Radcliffe was perfect as Harry Potter. He was absolutely perfect. Like, without Daniel Radcliffe, we wouldn't even have Harry Potter. I mean, yeah, I can say that actor's playing Harry Potter, but he did a great job as Harry. He really pulled it off. He really was able to do a lot with that role, and I'm really glad he did it, because he did a great job. Even as a 10-year-old or 11-year-old kid playing a 10-year-old character, he did a great job as Harry, because like I couldn't see him. I could only see him playing Harry, literally. In all the Harry Potter movies that have come out, he could only do Harry. So there was just one last thing about the whole, you know, cutting out things from the movies. Two things that I noticed about. I think it was the fourth movie and the sixth movie. There was a beginning thing in the fourth movie where the Dursleys were actually supposed to be in it, and then the sixth movie again, the Dursleys were supposed to be in it. I don't understand why. Like, why would they cut out? Why were the Dursleys? Although they were very terrible people in the books, why would they cut out so much? That's one thing I'm really confused about.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't really understand, because they were in the fourth movie. The fourth movie. The first time you see Harry is he waking up from a dream, but we don't know how he got there. In the books, it's because they went from the Dursleys to you know, where he is in the movie, and in the sixth movie, he goes from wherever he is to wherever he gets to, and we don't see the Dursleys. I don't like that about Harry Potter, because they cut out so much.
Right.
It irks me. I mean, they turn out fine, but man, some of the best scenes of those books, they cut them out. And it makes me so disappointed. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but it makes me feel like, you know, I hate it.
It's still good that they have the job with the movies, and you know, I want to break that out, because every book they're gonna cut things out. That's a given. It's impossible to fit all the information. You want to know what exactly fucked up the Avatar movie? Is that one. M. Night Shyamalan was directing it. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
Two, he tried to fit so many things into so little time, and he allowed everything to get muddled together.
Yeah.
He said the one whole book that, let's see, how many episodes are in the first season alone? 24?
Of what?
26.
Of what?
Well, still, it's more than 20 episodes in the first half of the first season, so like during the whole book one.
Oh, you're talking about Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the blue people. I thought you meant Pandora.
One, in the anime,
Okay, got it.
They had like over 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And he tried to cram it all into one. Not to mention, M. Night Shyamalan, he fucked up a bunch of different details.
Yeah.
But that's one. Having to cram all the information into just a couple hours, that doesn't really work all that well. You can't tell all the different details, and you're gonna have to sit. It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Exactly. That movie was fit for a reason.
I want to bring up the point that that I noticed. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but Dudley's hair is blonde in the books, but not in the movie. He's black haired in the movies, and I never understood why. Like, that's one detail that they left out in all the movies that upset a lot of fans. It wasn't the worst thing in the movies, but it didn't make sense. Why can't they get his hair right? I never understood it, and I guess we'll never know. But my guess is that was the director's choice. Just the directors and the producers decided, oh, Dudley would look better with black hair because we can. It's not even the books. I don't know, but yeah. I think that's all we have time for this week. I can imagine this topic will come back in the near future, but for now, I think that's all I have to say about Harry Potter. Anything else you guys want to talk about with Harry Potter?
No, not that I can think of.
All right.
I really I need to watch the first.
Yeah, clearly.
Fantastic Eight, but yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
well,
looking forward to it.
this was a really fun. I am glad we did this. I was very happy because it's fun. This is a great topic. I liked it when we can pick topics that we all enjoy and we can have a lot of fun and laugh and stuff. That's a great part of it. So anyway, thank you, listeners, for listening to this episode of the Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. It really is appreciated. And subscribe to become a spy if you're new around here. Also, don't forget to subscribe to bigdinoguy. The link will be in the description for his channel. He does amazing reviews.
I did another video last week. Yay!
I saw a little bit of it, but I'm not gonna watch the entire thing because reasons.
It's actually not a long one.
I know. I just
It wasn't a long one.
I'm talking about spoilers because I haven't beaten that game yet. So
I don't spoil it really.
maybe if you don't spoil it, then maybe.
I didn't really spoil it much at all. I just talked about. Yeah, I didn't really spoil it.
Okay, well, if you didn't spoil it, then I might take a look at it, because I hate it when I watch videos that you make where it spoils it, because that's like, I'm not ready for it kind of thing.
I've said a couple things, but they're not like big old plot
Okay.
devices, and
I probably should get back to it. I probably should get,
if you're over 2/3 of the way done, then there aren't any spoilers.
Okay, because I probably should actually get down on my game and actually get through it.
Okay.
Anyway.
I played all three of them multiple times all the way through. Right
Yeah.
now, after playing it again, I'm on the second game. I just finished the first one today already.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on the second game as well, and I'm playing as Femship.
Oh, good. All right. Well, yeah. And also thanks to Emily, the girl that was in this podcast. She somehow disappeared. But yeah. Thank you for joining us anyway. You're welcome back anytime if you want. Up to you. You don't have to. It's your choice. But we're glad to have her back because it was fun. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. And if you want, you click to your right and your left to go to last week's episode and the week before that. In case you did not get to listen to those episodes, they're right here. And also, we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be back next time for another episode. All right. Bye-bye.
Adios.